Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Online, a very special news report. Stay with us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Online. This is a special broadcast. It is broadcasting across all of our YouTube channels and across all of our social media platforms. So if it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's all over the place this video will be. And this is a video I want all people to listen to, have a look at, and then judge for yourself afterwards. We're talking about YouTube. We're talking about the dark side of YouTube. We're talking about the platform that I've been on since 2009. Okay, so I've been on YouTube a long time. I've seen the highest of the highs with big YouTube or fairly big YouTube views on a constant basis, and I've been the lows of the lows, having top people in the room and having very few views to it. See, when I do these videos, it's not about me, it's about the collective. It's not about myself, it's about the collective. And it's about other people out there on YouTube who may be getting disheartened by putting work out there all the time and not getting the views that they think. Oh, it's not because you got good content. You haven't got good content. So you improve the content, you improve the sound, you improve the videos. Oh, it's not because of good content, it's something else. No, there is something to it. And I've got an article I'm going to bring out now for you. I'll tell you what triggered this off. It's for a long time now I've been saying that YouTube have been playing games. And people close to me have felt the same thing too. People that I talk to closely, not people I talk to on the phone once in a while, people I talk to on maybe a daily or weekly basis of watch this stuff, this nonsense. Now, I did a video earlier on today. It was this video there I did here about Jay Diaz in boxing. So afterwards, I've been using independent analytics to watch and see what the hell is going on YouTube, to see whether it's just me or just, you know, it is actually YouTube. Check this out. So if you look here, down here, you'll see. Let me bring this up big for you. There, let's get this up for you. Can I get this big for you? I don't know if I can get it big, but basically, you'll see here. Down here, it's got 641,000 views, right? For this video I did. The same video, by the way, by the independent. But it comes up here. 39 views. Now, if you've got 641 views here, people are more likely to watch that video than they are to watch the one with 39 views. And of course, it comes with great disrespect, because people look at views and say, well, they validate your channel based on your views. Ah, he's only got 39 views. It don't mean anything. Ah, I didn't view him. It's only 100 views. And you get the disrespect for people across YouTube that look at views and say, well, because people have got views, it means something. And yes, it does mean something if those views are valid and are being counted. So let me go back a second and let me come out of this a second. Let me come out of this. And I'm going to take you to something that's actually going on at the moment within YouTube. Good afternoon, Cameron. Watch this. I'll show you something. I'm not alone in this. I've been feeling this a long time. But of course, mainstream media doesn't report these sort of things. So let me just click to a little article here for you. Oh boy. Let me get the article for you. And I didn't think anything of it. You don't at times. Let me get the article up. I don't care what you all think, by the way. I've gone beyond caring what people think. I put the information out there and then you make your own decisions afterwards. Check this out. So, and this is currently going on in America. Check this. Racism for profit. Now, I haven't read the whole article, but I had heard about it before. Black content creators sue YouTube over discriminatory access restrictions. Okay. 17th of June, 2020, class action. This is basically lawsuits. A group of black content creators have filed a proposed class action lawsuit this week against Google LLC, YouTube LLC, and Alphabet Inc. over what they claim is overt, intentional, and systematic racial discrimination against the black community. According to a lawsuit out of California federal court, the defendants use their absolute control over YouTube users' posting, viewing, engagement, advertising, personal data, and revenue monetization to place unlawful restrictions on certain content creators despite perpetuating to maintain an equal access policy that applies viewpoint neutral content rules and criteria to all videos. Meanwhile, the defense allegedly exclude their own platform material from access restrictions, even when the content violates the platform's terms of service, or TOS, thereby allowing the companies to reap substantial profits. The lawsuit claims the defendants' intentional and systematical racial discrimination not only violates the terms of their contract, but oversteps federal and state anti-discrimination, false advertising, unlawful business practice, and free speech laws. In short, the complaint states defendants' use of racism for profit is every bit unlawful as ideological racism, since in either case it discriminates against plaintiffs because they are African Americans or members of another protected race classification under the law. So this is not me. This is not what I'm thinking. This is what is basically going on at YouTube. With great power comes great conflict of interest, lawsuit alleges. The 239-page lawsuit paints a picture of the defense as members of the largest business enterprise in the world, with absolute control over roughly 95% of all video content available to the public. At the center of the suit is YouTube, Google's online platform, used by a staggering 2.3 billion consumers. 2.3 billion consumers! And I can only get 38 views. Shut up, man. The case claims the defendants shuffle between three conflicting and irreconcilable, I can't even say the word today because I'm so mad, roles in connection with YouTube that allows them to boost their own interests while unfairly targeting competition. On one hand, the suit explains the defendants act as an internal service provider with the right to host, review, curate, and monetize video content posted by third-party users in exchange for access to YouTube content and services. Decisions regarding access to video content are perpetually based on viewpoint neutral rules that apply equal to all, the lawsuit states. On the other hand, the suit proposes the defendants are also partnered with hand-picked content creators and, as the largest and most powerful of YouTube users, compete directly with those who utilize the platform for views, reach, engagement, CPM, clicks per minute, revenue, advertise, and a host of other user-based revenue streams on YouTube. Thirdly, defendants act as advertisers responsible for reviewing, categorizing, and classifying videos for the purpose of selling advertising on the YouTube platform. The lawsuit says advertising decisions are based on metadata comprised of demographic information gleaned from video titles and tags, channel profiles, subscriber and viewer profiles, and subscriber and viewer viewing history, the case explains. Using the enormous wealth of information, the defendants can choose to sell advertising based on certain users' race, identity, and viewpoints. The suit argues, and thereby generating revenue for the defendants, their affiliated content creators, and affluent white YouTube creators, without having to actually view the millions of hours of video content posted to the platform. In short, the case says, defendants divvy up the video content on the platform by race, identity, and viewpoint in order to sell advertisement to third parties without regard to the actual content of the videos. Moreover, defendants fully monetize their creators, those creators whose subscribers and views fit the right demographic, paying them collectively millions of dollars each month, regardless of whether their individual videos comply with defendants' own community guidelines and terms of service. Right. Okay, let me continue. According to the case, The power wielded by YouTube, Google, and Alphabet through the conflicting roles allows defendants to, under the guise of keeping the site safe for users, arbitrarily, conspiracy, and deceptively restrict access to the competitors' content while promoting unfettered access to their own content regardless of whether it violates its own guidelines. That's why you can watch certain videos on YouTube and see a cat taking a piss and get 20 million views, and a person talking about bringing a community together only getting 100 views. That's a kind of BS that goes on YouTube. There, you've got it right there. I didn't say this. Defendants' toolkit for unlawful conduct. According to the lawsuit, the defendants utilized a set of discriminatory, anti-competitive, and unlawful suppression practices. Suppression, we've heard that before, to censor and restrict content posted by the plaintiffs and other content creators. Referred to the complaint as the defendant's toolkit for unlawful conduct, the case claims the companies have used artificial intelligence-based algorithms to suspiciously collect information about YouTube users and generate metadata that is embedded, appended, and associated with individual videos in order to allow the defendants to filter, review, restrict, or block content based on discriminatory factors. Excluded black content creators from full revenue generation merely because of the metadata indicate that the video contains references to the terms BLM, black, white, racism, racial profiling, police shooting, police brutality, Black Lives Matters, the names of individuals killed by law enforcement, and other terms of euphemisms known as, and particularly to the black community. Wrongfully flagged, some videos are unavailable when the YouTube users have activated the site's restricted mode, even though the videos do not include content talking about drug use or abuse or drinking alcohol in videos, overly detailed conversation or depictions of sex and sexual activity, graphic depictions of violence, violent acts, natural disasters and tragedies, or even violence in the news. Videos that cover specific details about events relating to terrorism, war, criminal and political conflicts that resulted in death and serious injury. Even in no graphical imagery is shown, inappropriate language, including profanity, and video content is gratuitously incendiary, inflammatory, and demeaning towards an individual group. You know what? I'm going to click this link here. I'm sharing it so all of you can see the link yourself. I'm sharing it today so you all can see this. Check this. We're flaming them up today. This is going to go on all the platforms, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. It's getting flamed up. Everyone's getting it today. Everyone's getting this link today, so they can read and do the research themselves. Designated videos that discuss serious issues or current events, including important to the black community, as not family friendly, and exclude them from YouTube's search functions, rendering them essentially invisible to those using the platform. Allowed any user, including racist, sexist, white supremacy, neo-Nazi, and hate speech trolls, to report and flag videos believed to violate YouTube's terms and service without verifying the supposed violations. Yep, I know there's a few of them on my channel that are there. The ones hitting the dislike button, we know that you're reporting us. Allowed any user, including any user, interfered with the plaintiffs and others' live stream broadcast by stopping the broadcast, intentionally slowing broadcast speeds, inserting content into the video that is entirely unrelated and often offensive, misogynistic, racist, or obscene, removing viewers' positive comments, and disconnecting individual viewers or in the process of leaving positive comments. Yep, that happens on my channel as well. Excluded videos posted by the plaintiffs from YouTube's Up Next and trending recommendations on YouTube screens. Yes, that happens as well. Frozen number of... Listen to this! Bullshit! Listen. Excluded videos posted by the plaintiffs from YouTube's Okay. Froze the number of subscribers, numbers of views, and view times metrics used by the defendants to determine monetization and other perks on the analytic page from the plaintiff's channel. This is what's been happening to me for absolute years. Do you know what? On my YouTube channel at the moment, we're on 13,000 subscribers. And you know, every day YouTube are taking 50 subscribers off of my channel. I kid you not. I swear to God, this is what's going on now on YouTube. Let me see something else as well. On the independent analytics of my YouTube channel, there is 119,000 subscribers. Yet on YouTube, I've only got 13,000 subscribers. So you tell me what the hell is going on. This is in court, by the way. Promoted and monetized videos that include hate speeches against the plaintiffs and the black community, even after the plaintiffs and the subscribers flagged such features, and ignored and delayed appeals by the plaintiffs to restore monetizations to a video and lift restrictions. Now, I do know that Brother Willie, one of the very, very popular YouTubers, went to town on YouTube and was taking them to court, and they restored his videos immediately. The result of the defendants' allegation actions, according to the lawsuit, is that the plaintiffs and their other marginalized content creators have lost the subscribers, viewership, and revenue while being unable to freely discuss topics and issues that have been important to members of their community. Of one particular note, in the case of another lawsuit filed in August 2019 by a group of prominent LGBTQ content creators who argued that defendants wielded a striking similar toolkit of unlawful speech suppression to discriminate against video content posted or viewed by members of the LGBTQ community. So, the defendants have some serious explaining to do. According to the lawsuit, the defendants' public stance has been that YouTube's content and access restrictions are in the product of good faith, viewpoint neutral, and identity blind content reviews and decisions. Regardless of the company's policies and public statements, the lawsuit argues that discriminatory conduct alleged in the complaints have been nothing but knowing, intentional, and systematic, whether motivated by defendants' race, animus, or a desire to use racial profiling to increase profits. The case notes that in June 11, 2020, YouTube CEO, I can't stand this woman, Susan whatever her name, announced that YouTube, in conjunction with Alphabet, was starting a 10 million fund dedicated to amplifying and in developing the voice of YouTube black creators and artists and their stories. The plaintiffs argue that in light of YouTube's stated instance that we need to do more to dismantle systematic racism, the defendants have some serious explaining to do regarding the treatment of the plaintiffs and the other content creators using the platform. According to the case, the plaintiffs would prefer the defendants spread their money to stop the racial practicing that pervade the YouTube platform. So there, it goes on. I'll finish off because we're coming to the end of the article anyway. What does the lawsuit look to represent? The four plaintiffs who representatively own the True Royal family, Lisa Cabrera, Cooking with Cameron Kaboom, Nicole's View, and several other YouTube channels look to represent the following proposed class. All persons and entities in the United States who were a person or entity defined or classified as protected class, or a person under the 42 U.S.C. 1981, and are members, use, or consumers of YouTube uploaded, posted, and viewed video content on YouTube, subject to YouTube's terms and conditions, terms of service, mission statement, community guidelines, and any or other content-based filtered monetization, distribution, personal data use policies, advertising regulations, and practice any other regulations or practices that are related to the YouTube platform or on after January 1st, 2050, continue through to June 2020. Can I join lawsuit? Most of the time, there's nothing you need to do to participate in a class action lawsuit until the case is settled. In the meantime, you can keep up with the class action news and updates. Sign up to the class action newsletter. Now, I do also want to mention something else as well. There's something else I do want to mention that puts BWTM in a very different category to the UK-based YouTubers. BWTM is registered as is based in America. It's not based in the UK. So I've got as many damn right to go and be a part of this lawsuit as anybody, because we're part of we're in the US. We're not in the UK. We're not registered in the UK. It's registered in the US. So this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So there we go. Think what you want. So the next time you come across on our channel and you go, "Oh, you've only got a few views," you know what's really going on. You know the BS that's going on. This is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. You know what? That is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. YouTube won't be hearing the last of me. And I know you're listening. You ain't hearing the last thing on this one. Believe me. Believe me, you're not hearing the last on this one. Action has to be taken here. Action will be taken. It will be taken. You think 641... How can my channel get 641,000 views on one video, yeah? And I posted less than an hour, but yet in the room, I only had 9 people in the room watching the video. And then after 9 people, I had 38 views. So you tell me what is going on there. If it's not suppression, I've been telling you this suppression has been going on for ages, but today is it. So I'm going to talk to somebody about it from America, because this is not on. Enough is enough. Please leave your comments in the comment section. And if you are legally trained and have the balls to take on YouTube, please, let's do it. Let's make it happen. This has been BWTM online. And this is what happens when you're an independent. You're not following the crowd. This is BWTM online, black and proud.